even seeing a ghostly apparition in one of the upstairs dining rooms, aptly called Lover's Lane.
Before the patio was added on here, the garden room, apparently, and this was another story that I was told by a previous owner, that was like Lady Dahlgren's widow peak. You know, years back when the widows were waiting for the sailors, they would pace that. And I've heard a lot of stories about people that have been here that have felt her presence in Lover's Lane, because that's where she paced back and forth waiting for her husband.
More sightings of ghostly shapes have been seen in other portions of the second story.
The old secretary, probably back 92, 93. I was down in the kitchen doing my normal thing in the morning.
Old South Mountain Inn, how can I help you? Okay, sure. Okay, you're all set. We'll see you tomorrow night at 7. Okay, bye.
Were you just upstairs?
What?
Thought it was just you messing with me.
No, been out in the kitchen all the time.
I saw something white out of the corner of my eye.
You all right?
I think I just saw a ghost.
And she stayed with me by my side until the old owner's Russian Judy got here, because she swore that I was up there messing with her. She said she could hear footsteps, the doors were opening and closing, and she said that she thought she saw me coming around the corner in my white chef outfit, which I didn't even have it on that day.
Finally, sightings of ghostly apparitions haven't been limited to the humans who work at the Old South Mountain Inn.
My dog, I have a Labrador, had it brought him to work with me one day, and I was on the phone in one of my offices upstairs, and he was laying in the hallway there, and of course there's a window back behind me, and he's sitting there staring at me, and I'm on the phone, and next thing you know, I look over and his hair's standing straight up, and his ears go back. I'm thinking, you know, someone's outside on the ladder, my maintenance man. Then he starts barking like there's something wrong. He jumps up in my lap like he's scared. And I turned around and looked to see what was going on, and I felt like there was a presence behind me. I didn't know what it was, but you know, I hear that animals have this strange sense of knowing that there's something else beyond, you know, us there. So that was quite a feeling that day to have that happen.
The old stone house, which sits on top of Turner's Gap, certainly has seen its share of history in its more than 250 years. Could it be that some of the history associated with the Old South Mountain Inn is still trapped in some way within its walls? One thing is for certain. If you come to eat in one of the inn's many dining rooms, there is a slight chance you might be witness to some of the same people who enjoyed a hot meal and relaxing drink long ago. These stories that you've seen are just a small representation of the legends and strange occurrences in our area. These are stories passed down through the years, from family to family. Some still swear to their authenticity, while others dismiss them as merely entertaining stories.
Myths and legends are critical to every society. That, in essence, myths, religions, legends, anything that can be used to explain the unexplainable becomes a central focus of many, many societies. Obviously, in our very earliest societies where mankind knew almost nothing, magic and myth and legend and religion became central to explain all sorts of things.
Well, to me, legends are very important. I'll explain that in just a minute. I think a legend itself, though, is probably a story that's unusual in its beginning, and then it gets told to someone else, and then that person embellishes it when they tell it to the third person, and then the story gets retold and maybe printed and then retranslated, and it goes back and forth. So some months, years later, that story is now completely different from what it was originally. But always at the center of the story, there's some truth. And I think it's important for the historians to take a look at legends and myths and try to cut through all the various details that don't seem real and try to get to that particular story and find out the exact truth. And by then, when you get down to that one part of it that's true, you can find the real story and it might be something very